It takes a special kind of commitment to be an American fur farmer today, caring about this land we live on and the animals we care for. It's a life of stewardship, one of privileges and responsibilities, something we share with every farm family, and with the people who bring our products to market. Fur farmers live by high standards not only because it makes ethical sense, but because it makes good business sense. Let's think about it a moment. The ultimate and very public testimony to our caring can be seen every day in the garments on the street. The healthy luster, the durable softness, the warmth of real fur, qualities that attract people to them. U.S. fur farmers were the first farm group in the nation to publish our own set of humane care guidelines, born of our own conscientious intentions to produce the world's finest fur. It's your guarantee of excellence, not just in the care of the animals here on the farm, but also in the fur garments which you purchase. People who've never been on a fur farm have a lot of questions about what goes on here. Let's take a minute to look at those things which constitute humane mink farming today. The Fur Farm Animal Welfare Coalition's certification process begins with a voluntary inspection by an independent licensed veterinarian. The guidelines define high standards of mink production and set forth recommendations about proper care and facilities on the farm. Fur farms must be quiet, away from urban areas, and helpful to the welfare of the animals. A protective fence should surround the housing area to guard the mink against disease from wild animals. Every mink shed must be clean, well ventilated, and provide the animals protection from the elements. Sheds can be of any size as long as these criteria are met. If the farm has severe weather, partial or total closure of sheds should be considered, but only if natural light, which governs the animal's reproduction and furring cycles, is unrestricted. Sheds should be constructed to permit good working conditions that allow for easy care of the animals as well as efficient manure removal. Safe and efficient removal of manure is vital in preventing pollution of streams or groundwater. Fur farmers work with local officials to ensure that the farm complies with existing water quality regulations. Mink pens must allow natural physical movement and comfort while resting, grooming, eating, and rearing young. Pens should be durable, secure, and designed to prevent injury. The breeding pens must include a false floor to prevent kits from falling to the ground. Wooden or wire nesters must be clean and dry and big enough to hold nesting material along with the mother and kits. Quality fur depends upon quality nutrition. Mink require complete diets that meet their changing nutritional needs throughout the life cycle. Farmers are encouraged to analyze mink feed when needed through a qualified laboratory and stay current on nutritional research. Dry feed or ready-mixed wet foods should be stored in dry places away from rodents. Fresh and frozen animal byproducts can deteriorate rapidly, so collection, storage, and preparation conditions must be sanitary. Containers should be drip-proof and thoroughly washed after each use. Refrigeration or preservatives will ensure freshness and nutritional value. Grinders, mixers, and blenders must be cleaned after each use and well maintained, as should all feeding machines used on the farm. Mink require constant access to water, either manually or by automatic systems, especially in hot weather. Water systems must be clean, and individual valves must function properly. Daily inspections also catch any leaks that cause wet areas on the farm. During freezing periods, ice or snow can be substituted, or extra water added to the feed. Humane care includes vigilant attention to each animal's health. At the first sign of any illness or injury, immediate treatment is given, either by the farmer or a veterinarian. Severely ill or injured mink are humanely euthanized, and a necropsy performed if necessary. Mink are vaccinated against the following diseases: botulism, distemper, virus enteritis, and Pseudomonas pneumonia. In addition, the herds are periodically tested for mink elution disease using the counter-immunoelectrophoresis, or CEP test. Herd health is managed by using the CEP test together with an appropriate sanitation program. Fly control is a major health factor if sanitation. To minimize environmental harm, biological pest control methods are encouraged. Transportation of live mink across state lines or to another country requires appropriate health certificates and permits. Guideline Committee Chairman Dan Follett explains the intentions of this section.
For a particular circumstance, the perfect crate exists, and that is a crate that would allow for, first off, most important, proper airflow and ventilation through the crate when it's alone or when it is stacked or put in place in the vehicle. It will allow for the animal to rest, to move around and have enough room to rest properly, to not be stressed. It must be constructed in such a way that there's no materials or anything sharp so that the animal will injure himself. And it must, if it's going to be a transport of any significant time, it must allow for proper watering and feeding.
Euthanasia techniques on fur farms are under unprecedented public scrutiny due to the animal rights movement. The Coalition's recommendation on euthanasia methods are based upon the American Veterinary Medical Association's methods approved for an animal of this size, specifically inhalation of carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide gas. These methods immediately render the animal's central nervous system insensitive to pain without causing fear or stress.
In addition to the farmers' daily concerns with animal welfare, it's a reality of life that they are also responsible for the way in which the animals die. Fur farmers have turned to the veterinary community for advice on their farming practices, and methods of euthanasia are one of those. The guidelines that have been developed are a result of experience and that technical knowledge.
Good afternoon, Fur Farm Coalition.
The certification process begins when a fur farmer contacts the Coalition office for a copy of the Humane Care Guidelines. The farmer submits the enclosed application, including the name of a local veterinarian who will inspect the farm and complete the Coalition's veterinary inspection form, indicating whether or not the farm complies with the humane standards. If approved, the Coalition issues a merit award certificate to the farm and also authorizes the use of the Humane Care Seal of Approval when selling pelts through these United States auction companies. Today, 4 years after the Humane Care Certification Program began, over 90% of American fur comes from Merit Award farms, recognized for excellence in production by humane farming methods.
As a veterinarian, I work with farmers of all types, and farmers live by humane care ethics because farm families succeed only as their animals prosper. It's a real motivation for them to provide everything that the animals need on a daily basis, all the conditions that provide good animal health. It's important to remember that the animal rights movement isn't concerned about humane care. Their goal is to abolish all animal use. That includes food, clothing, medical research, pets, and the whole works. And if a person is really concerned about humane care, if that's the subject, the fur farmers wrote the book on it.